Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular NEWSMAX Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of NEWSMAX shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the NEWSMAX Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Go to WCBM.com.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
This all started with the Panorama edit. I've just got this in. This is just breaking news, Emma, which relates to this story. We're just hearing that the BBC has apologised to Donald Trump over the editing of a speech which appeared on Panorama in 2024.
It looks like there could be a cascade of media not being able to lie about Donald Trump anymore for fear of getting their asses sued off.
Adding it was an error of judgment.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And the programme will not be broadcast again in this form on any BBC platform. So that's the BBC apologising directly to the President of the United States.
Yeah, actually, here is the official apology that was taken. It was actually behind the scenes. Nobody heard it, the conversation between Donald Trump and a BBC representative.
Apologize.
Otto!
What? Apologize. Are you totally deranged? You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag.
How very interesting. You're a true Bulgarian, aren't you?
You're the Bulgarian. Now apologize!
What, me to you? Apologize. All right, I apologize.
There it is.
You're really sorry.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
Yeah.
You take it back.
I do. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice. And I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family, and I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.
Well, it still might cost you $1 billion. We'll see. This is Jim Gossett as the president.
A sorry day in London town. The BBC is going down.
They went down.
Apology is not enough. I plan to sue them. Yes, I'll hang tough. $1 billion. It will be sought. The BBC, they got caught. Apology won't be enough for me.
Well, give some money.
'Cause to a civil court I will be taking the BBC.
There you go. So lawsuits aren't for conservative outlets anymore. You know, they go after conservative outlets for talking about whatever sundry items that the left is trying to cover up, like stolen elections and stuff like that. And then conservative outlets get sued by the hundreds of millions of dollars and all that. But now it looks like Donald Trump is in no mood for this nonsense anymore. They lied about his Russia collusion and all of that. So they're going to have to start to think about the possibility of getting their rear ends sued off. Here's Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki, we ready for some hot sake? Jen Psaki yesterday had a guest on, and they were alluding to Donald Trump somehow being involved in the Jeffrey Epstein trials, and it's a lie, because if they would have had anything, they would have unveiled it in the last 4 years during Joe Biden, but they just whip it out every once in a while when they want to distract from when they lose, like when they lost on the government shutdown. But here's Jen Psaki. This is the trickle-down truth that is coming out of the BBC case.
In supporting what Donald Trump is doing.
You're talking about the other predators out there, in addition to Trump. I mean, I'm not saying he is.
I'm not saying he is. I don't want to get sued or anything.
I don't know all the details about that. I just mean in addition to what we've learned about Epstein and others, there's other predators out there.
There are, and we have to remember that Alex Acosta, when he...
I wasn't trying to infer anything. Same thing happened with CNN.
That mentioned the president. And we do want to be clear, the president, Trump, did not receive or send any of the messages, which largely predated his time as president. He's not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell.
Yeah, the White House. But here is Jasmine Crockett. She's an idiot, you see. And the great thing about her is that, for so many years, idiots have been in the background. But finally, idiots are getting their own, version of, the ability to be able to become famous and whatever. And also, idiot voters are going to be represented in the Senate if she runs and wins. But here she is mouthing off about Donald Trump with no evidence whatsoever. I hope he sues her.
Sure that the Department of Justice,
if he sued her butt off, it would be a big lawsuit.
Didn't have this information, and if they didn't have this information, do we know whether or not they actually deleted this information? Yeah. Do we know that there was a thorough investigation? Do we know whether or not the investigation had concluded? These are all questions that we need answers to, but we can't get them when you're not cooperating.
No, actually, you could have gotten all those answers when Joe Biden was the president and was in charge of both houses of Congress, and he had to weaponize the DOJ and the FBI. They would have found something and weaponized it against Donald Trump had they had anything, but they didn't, you see.
So we don't know what the DOJ has, nor what it is that the DOJ...
They have D-word for Richard.
...potentially was trying to do, considering that the president right now is trying to obstruct on some very basics of let's just get a subpoena that says release all the...
Okay, you are losing IQ points as we speak. If you're a Democrat, you might want to turn off the show for a second here because you can't afford to lose them.
Information, I wouldn't be surprised, just like he obstructed the prosecution of one of his henchmen who took $50,000.
Okay, that was absolutely no evidence of anything with the border czar Tom Homan.
In taxpayer dollars from undercover.
Here comes the money shot.
Officers, I wouldn't be surprised if he sent a message and said, stop investigating. We're done with
God, shut up.
This. Epstein's dead. I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Do you have any evidence of that claim?
I have no idea. No.
Oh, my God. Okay, the stupid is over. Let's resume. Here is Stephen A. Smith, old Stephen A. Smith. Even he says, are you out of your nut? There's no evidence whatsoever Donald Trump was doing anything with Jeffrey Epstein and the women that he had corralled for people, I don't know, who maybe flew on the Lolita Express a lot like Bill Clinton.
The Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration.
That's true.
You were there for 4 years.
After him, you're going to hear Chris Rufo.
How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then?
What
am I missing?
Yeah.
Again and again, the evidence suggests that while Trump did know Epstein, he did party with Epstein on occasion, he wasn't involved in any of Epstein's crimes. And in fact, when he figured out what was going on, he banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club and resort.
That's true,
And so the president, I think, had...
they like to hang around with scumbags, like Hunter Biden.
Successfully established boundaries, and the Dems are just trying to agitate against him and trying to use whatever bits and pieces from these documents to get the president. But look...
But now they might get sued, you see.
The president has been through a lot. He's been indicted.
That's why everybody else is going, maybe we shouldn't mouth off on like this stuff like we did in the past because Donald Trump will sue us for $1 billion.
He's been arrested. He's been mugshotted. He's been shot through the ear. A couple of misrepresented snippets from these emails is not going to result in much.
No, not going to result much. Remember when ABC, Amy Robach, a couple years ago, she said they were going to do a big old story on Jeffrey Epstein and, maybe the possibility of involvement with people like maybe Bill Clinton and oddly enough, George Stephanopoulos, who was, higher up in the Bill Clinton cabinet and everything. I think, wasn't he spokesperson as well and all that? And he was part of ABC, and you got to kind of wonder if maybe he put the Ixnay on the Ori stay.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate.
Prince Andrew had his titles stripped away.
That also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures.
Dershowitz has been exonerated.
Everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything.
Isn't that kind of crazy? And one other story on this. Last year on CNN, Bill Clinton literally put the kibosh on us. Any pursuance of people involved with Epstein that might have a D in front of their name.
New details this morning. Hundreds of new pages have been unsealed in a lawsuit connected to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The victim alleges that former President Clinton pressured Vanity Fair not to run a story on Epstein. The pages also shed new light on how Epstein's victims
I don't think it'd be a good idea for you to run that story.
Recruited and what happened to them.
My wife might murder you.
CNN's Gene Cesaris joins us now. And Gene, we're talking about...
Sorry, allegedly murdered.
900 pages here, so there's a lot to go through. What new details have come out?
Well, they came out last night, combing through them. And, this all stems from 2015.
The details are coming out a lot easier than stains on a blue dress.
Civil suit brought by Virginia Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell. And Virginia Giuffre had wanted her story to come out. She wanted a book. And so she became very close with a reporter out of Britain. And this reporter was encouraging her to go to the Vanity Fair magazine to have them do an article on it. And here is what, in a newly undisclosed email from 2011.
Why'd they get rid of that story?
Here's what Virginia Giuffre says. She says, considering that B. Clinton walked into VF, Vanity Fair, and threatened them not to write sex trafficking articles about his good friend.
I think maybe their focus is on the wrong person, and we know this because there's no evidence against Donald Trump. So there's that. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. We have much to get to on the radio program today. Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Let's take our first break, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show.
Tonight, a growing number of Democrats are calling for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down.
Chuck will be history real soon. Chuck will be history real soon. Democrats want him out as their leader. Chuck will be stepping down soon. Chuck shut the government down. Liberals want him to leave town. They didn't get a single thing that they requested. It is no mystery. Chuck will be history real soon. I've got a crush on you, Mom Dolly. You're a communist. just like me. Private business, we oppose it. A takeover, we will propose it. Seize your house, take your car. Zoran Mamdani is our new star. The world will pardon my mush, but I have got a crush, Mamdani, on you.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Well, the president just dealt with Chuck Schumer, and President Trump and Republicans shellacked Chuck Schumer and the entire Democrat Party.
Yeah.
After 43 days of Chuck standing out there trying to bravely hold the country hostage and inflict massive pain on the American public, Chuck got absolutely nothing.
Nope.
And now the knives are out for him. The Democrat Party is in complete disarray. And the truth is, they have been for 10 years since President Trump came on the
doing a death spiral into hell
political scene. They don't stand for anything good.
No,
they just stand for Donald Trump is bad.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that unifies their party. And now you see how far they are moving.
They're bed guano crazy.
To the left.
I know.
They ran Senator Gillibrand and Senator Manchin out of town.
Yeah.
Now they're running Chucky Schumer out of town. It's too bad he turned into a Palestinian. He did it for nothing, like President Trump says, because his own party is turning against him. And the Democrat Party is true.
I just love it. We got a president with balls, and we got a presidential spokesperson, born a woman, who has balls as well. Caroline Levitt. She's spectacular. She's better than I could have ever imagined. My God, she is so amazing. Here is John Fetterman, who fell down yesterday, and I, in all sincerity, I hope he is doing well. He had this ventricular fibrillation. He passed out. This, oddly enough, my brother had this happen to him in 2018, and he died because he fell and he hurt him. He injured his neck. So it's a very serious thing, but he had a ventricular fibrillation flare-up, and he fell down. He got a little lightheaded and all that. So we wish him the best, because he's like the only anchor of common sense in the Democrat Party right now. And here's what he says about the Democrat Party moving far leftward, which I hope they do.
America's
keep going that way.
Future, and my party's future, is not socialism or kinds of outlandish far left kinds of ideas. And it's been a year ago, after we lost the election, a lot of those parts and part of those ideas pushed our party over the cliff. And that's why we're in this situation right now.
Well, the mayor of Seattle, the newly elected mayor of Seattle, and oddly enough, she was behind before Election Day, and then they counted votes, mail-in ballots for a couple days, 5 days afterwards, and she ended up winning. And here she is yesterday. She is never had a job, really. I mean, she's kind of got a job. She still relies on her parents for her rent. Her husband doesn't have a job. She has no life experience whatsoever. She is a child with regard to life experience, and for that. She's also a child mentally. And when you hear her speak, here's a list of all the things that she wants. I want you to listen to her and hear what she has to say. All of the things that she just wants.
There is an awful lot that I want to accomplish as mayor. I want everyone in this great city of ours to have a roof over their head. I want universal child care and free K-8 summer care. I want world-class mass transit. I want great, safe public spaces where kids can run around with abandon.
Can you slow down? We're just writing this stuff down and all the billions it's going to add up to there. Her name's Katie Wilson, by the way.
I want stable, affordable housing for renters. Yeah. I want social housing.
Sure. Social housing. Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'll just write it down.
I want much more land and wealth to be owned and stewarded by communities instead of corporations. I want a robust economy with thriving small businesses. Wow. Great living wage jobs and strong rights for workers.
We've got about 10 of those now. Hold on a second. Right.
I want a city where everyone has the basics of a dignified life.
Well, I'm thinking everybody probably wants that, you moron.
Including healthy food.
No. We as Republicans, we want unhealthy food. We want all of us to die.
Access to health care and supportive communities.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I want a city where your health and your life expectancy and your children's future doesn't depend on your zip code or your race.
Well, it's stupid.
I believe that I will be stepping...
Anything else that you want? Anything else? You know who she kind of reminded me of with that list? She's never done anything in her life. She's never accomplished anything. She's never hired anyone. She's never met a payroll. She's never built anything.
I want a party with roomfuls of laughter, 10,000 tons of ice cream.
Free daycare, too.
And
throw
if
that
I don't get the things I am after...
What, are you going to burn things?
I'm going to scream.
Yeah, or do a riot or something.
I want the works, I want the whole works. Presents and prizes and sweets and surprises of all shapes and sizes. And now, don't care how, I want it now.
This is what toddlers do.
Don't care how, I want it now.
There you go. And this is what's going to happen to Seattle, by the way, right here. It's going to go right into the toilet. Right into the toilet. And by the way, Seattle is already
a bad egg.
Headed into the toilet. Yeah, she is a bad egg. It's going to be bad news for Seattle.
Why can't we enforce the law?
No Robert's rule. We're going to have a community.
Seattle is a mess.
Last May 2nd, at a town hall meeting in Ballard, simmering anger boiled over into all-out rage.
So why do we see so many people living outdoors?
Will you manage these camps, and will you enforce the law?
There has evolved a profound disconnect, and rarely has it been more vividly laid out than in this exchange.
If property crime is committed, violence is committed, you need to call 911, and the police...
Yeah, listen.
You've lost all credibility when you say... You said 2 words. You said, call 911. Do you understand that the police have told us to vote you all out so that they can do their jobs? And you're telling us...
Yeah. This is what happens when you put children in charge. Children who a few years ago said that you should defund the police, and when they don't get what they want, they just burn down the country. If you think this is some sort of metaphor for what's happening and is what is going to happen across the country, you're exactly wrong. Because this is the final temper tantrum of a movement that's going to get a spanking. And it is getting a spanking right now. It's gotten a spanking in Washington, D.C. They got a spanking, cleared out all the homeless encampments, brought some National Guard soldiers in here. It's going on in Chicago. Donald Trump did this Operation Midway and brought down violent crime by about 50%. It's happening in Memphis, and it's going to happen elsewhere. And the last bastions of this crap are going to be places like New York City and Seattle. And by the way, nobody's moving there. You know why? Because this sort of idiocy is not appealing to most of us in this country. They are spoiled little children with no life experience who want to polish a turd of socialism that has been tried before and has left hundreds of millions of people in body pits. But they're so stupid, bloody, and ignorant of history, and they've never done anything in their lives that they think it's going to work. So I say, Seattle and New York, you're on your own. You're on your own. Idaho is next. They've got a tranny. Sorry, did I say that? I meant transgendered. Well, was born with a penis and wears a dress now, whatever that is. Running in Idaho as a Democrat socialist. Part of Idaho already wants to secede from that state. If this happens, I think they will. Joining us next, Tony Kinnett, The Daily Signal. He's one of our unusual suspects on Friday. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. That's shopbeam.com/NEWSMAX. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/NEWSMAX and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat. Street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over. Thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
Katie Wilson ran on raising taxes on everything. Property taxes, a local capital gains tax, a local wealth tax, a digital services tax. Their problem is affordability. The median income there is the median cost of living there is $125,000. You need more than 40% to get an apartment. They got 36,000 staffers at the University of Washington. They got about 50,000 students. So Seattle is a deep blue city. Even more radical, actually, than New York City.
What? Yeah.
Because it's the worst of the worst. It's progressives. And so she won. Democratic won.
Sure.
But she DSA through to the core.
Yeah.
And it's part of the problem the Democrats have is the blue is getting bluer. Meanwhile, the middle of the country is getting much redder, and I'd much rather be a Republican with that trend line.
Yeah, absolutely. The Republican Party, we had this big battle royale getting rid of the country club Republicans, the last hangers-on, Mitt Romney. For God's sake, we got rid of guys named Mitt in the Republican Party, and MAGA took over. Thank you very much, the real American heroes. The left is similarly divided the Democrat Party between the old school, I won't even say they're not even Roosevelt Democrats. Those people died. It was the new progressives and now the socialists. And it looks like the socialists are kind of winning. And to me, that's an 80-20 issue. America is 80, and the 20 are these Democrat socialists. So here we go again. Joining us on the NEWSMAX hotline, one of our unusual suspects. I'm going to call our panelists, I'm going to call them panelists, guests on Friday, unusual suspects. Number one is always Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal, who also does a glorious radio program on WIBC in the heart of America, Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. I am having the week that I would love to be over, but I am enjoying it all the same.
But didn't you like the capitulation by the Democrats with regard to the shutdown? The Republican Party has never had the stones, has never had the spine to stand up to the Democrats, and they never budged with regard to the possibility of giving the Democrats what they want to reopen the government. And that's a really big deal, because I've seen like 50 years of wimpiness from the Republican Party.
Oh, of course. And this was, by the way, this is something that we expected. As soon as I saw, not just Fetterman, as soon as I saw Cortez Masto of Nevada come out and vote in agreement to keep the government open, I knew that it was only a matter of time. You knew it was only a matter of time until they flaked away. They did. And now they're trying to revive Epstein for the 86th time to try to find their way out of this. They can't. No. Eric Swalwell caught blatant mortgage fraud. Yes. I mean, come on, what a Friday.
Oh, my God, it is fantastic. Look at all the mortgage fraud. You've got Letitia James. You've got Eric Swalwell. Who am I missing? Is there one? Does Gavin? No, I'm trying.
Adam Schiff.
Adam Schiff. Yeah.
Federal Reserve officer. You've got all of these Lisa Cook. All of these individuals who, again, and I actually threw a fit last night on the show.
Yes.
Because I made the point, if you're going to commit fraud, if you're dumb enough to commit fraud, why are you committing it in the dumbest, most traceable way in history? These are filed documents.
Yeah. And the thing is also, do you see that Swalwell, sorry about that. Swalwell is saying, when we get back in power, we're going to come after you guys. And I'm like, well, how exactly are you going to do that? Because you are the most unpopular the Democrat Party has been, and by the way, the last Tuesday did not change that. You are still trending downward. You are still a divided party. How exactly are you going to get us when you win the midterms and you win back both houses of Congress?
Well, he has no idea. That's why in his back pocket he thinks he's going to run for governor.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's really it. That's just his master plan here. They can get out there and say, well, you guys just wait. Like, as soon as the census kneecaps you, there's really going to be nothing else to say. You can get out there and pretend that people aren't fleeing, as you played on the intro clip, Seattle and California and New York. Now I have a friend that has just now put their house on listing in New York, or their apartment, I should say. People are moving out as quickly as possible from these hellholes.
No, Tony, hey, the Democrat Party is convinced, or a lot of people in it, the Democrat socialists, they're saying this is what America wants. So what don't you suppose people should be coming into those? So do you suppose people would look at those as islands of socialism and utopian? Why are they moving out, Tony? Because this is going to take over the country.
I just can't help but notice that all of these socialist countries that have existed on the face of this earth are the only ones that had to build walls to keep people in.
Yes.
And now the new Seattle mayor, what has she said? We are not going to let grocery stores close their doors and leave.
Yes.
There you go. It's the same old tune.
It is. It's ridiculous, and she's using the expression "food deserts," which is also known as "sucky neighborhoods." Okay, grocery store companies, they don't leave because they're leaving black people or whatever people. They're leaving because they're tired of being robbed blind.
Also, supply and demand. I hate to break this to everyone, but the idea, the reason that people buy junk food is because people want junk food. It's like, well, if there was cheap vegetables, everyone would buy them.
Yeah.
Have you ever put out zucchini in a city grocery store and watched what people do with it? It ain't eating it. I don't want to hear it. This argument that, well, if we just gave black people fruits and vegetables, food deserts would be over. Guys, I was told that giving black people fruits and vegetables in '85 was racist.
Yes.
And that they needed the same junk food that white suburban neighborhoods offered. Pick a lane, homie.
Can I tell you what? Zucchini goes bad faster in my refrigerator than the Cheetos do in my cabinet, because those Cheetos don't last very long. But I want you to hear this. You may not have heard this. This is legitimately a PSA for a free grocery store in Baltimore. I'm not screwing with you. It's a library, and they open up. And I want you to listen to all of qualifications to get free groceries. You get a tiny bag of groceries, but listen to this. This is socialized groceries.
Introducing Baltimore's first free grocery store, where every Wednesday from 11 to 2 and Friday from 2 to 5, customers can fill one library supply bag with groceries at the Southeast Anchor Library, with fresh produce provided the fourth Friday of every month. It's just one more service offered by the Pratt Library. So if you're in the need of food for free, head to the Pratt Free Market and check it out.
There you go, the Pratt Free Market. You can go Wednesdays from 11 to 2, Fridays from 2 to 5 with fresh produce every fourth Friday.
There it is. Ah, yes. I'm so excited. And you know, this may remind you of something.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's the socialist healthcare program, but for groceries.
Oh man.
It's really expensive. You get a free doctor visit once every 4 years.
Yes.
And it's only for covering a boo-boo if you have cancer. Well, screw you. And it's that entire program. They've somehow made it into a crappy grocery store. Way to go, Dan.
Now, you were in high school when Obamacare passed. And
I ate Michelle Obama's incredible lunches. I sure did.
Oh, man. How bad were they, by the way? How bad were those lunches?
Dude, it was like if depression could be served every day at noon. That's what it was like.
Unbelievable. This is so fascinating because you know you're 31 years old, right? And so
30.
You were in high school when Obama tried all this crap. When Obamacare passed, were you paying attention when it passed?
I mean, I was, because I was a big nerd and politics mattered to me.
Yeah.
And so I remember when, we were told all of this nonsense about healthcare. And by the way, we were skeptical because someone said, it's like how everyone can go see the school nurse, was how it was pitched to us. And we said, that's your sales point? Everyone can go see the nurse who's like, oh, you broke your leg?
Real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, and phishing scams. Web Threat Shield detects and blocks malicious websites before you visit them. Family protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, and other dependents. Up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. To save 60%, go right now to webroot.com/Carson. That's
would have their premiums reduced by $2,500. They swore to you, and that was not true. And I think the people that drew it up knew it was not true in the very beginning. It was a lie. The people that were the architects of Obamacare, of the ACA, wanted single payer. They designed a system that they knew they had to know.
Yeah, and I was talking about this when it was passed. It was designed to fail. It was designed to destroy the private health care insurance. It didn't quite get there. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is the president, and maybe this is another fortuitous reason why the 2020 election was rigged and he had to sit out, because it's been exposed for its failure, and hopefully something's going to happen with it. Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal, who, by the way, you're on top of the NEWSMAX Facebook feed today. You were talking about a Minneapolis socialist, by the way. I just saw your face on there, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We can get you something better to watch, I promise.
It doesn't get any better than you. You're pretty amazing. I don't want to make this into a Tony Rob love fest here, but no, you do a great job. But we are seeing, and I like to say, a lot of things happen. The left exposes its flanks so we can kick its butt, and it looks like this one of the fallouts of this shutdown, which was not basically the next thing for the Democrats. They were looking for something, but it exposed this Obamacare debacle maybe before it could do what it was supposed to do, which is get rid of private health care altogether.
Well, I mean, it's really ironic. Well, perhaps it's not. Maybe it's very fitting that the actual architects you mentioned a couple of minutes ago have now come out and said that it was never going to work.
No.
I mean, we've had panels and videos on this for quite some time. It was a major failure. The funniest thing now is that they have tried to make Obamacare Republican. Ah, yes, Barack Hussein Obama, the most Republican of policy writers in American history. Get out of here. And by the way, if they think that, like the Minneapolis mayor said, that, or the new Minneapolis, city council, they're Democratic socialists, they think the move is to go further in the single-payer direction. Again, it has failed everywhere. Everywhere it's been tried. It has eaten up the entire country's budget, and it's provided substandard care. No, thank you.
No,
I'm sorry. You're not going to do the whole, we'll think of all of the people without health care. They did this with SNAP as well. And then what did Brooke Rollins discover? Wow, look at all this fraud.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't need that in the healthcare system.
Oh, well, there's a lot of things. It's almost overwhelming, the number of things that are being uncovered. Joe Biden, of course, opened the southern border. Nancy Pelosi is now saying that was because of climate change.
Oh, I mean, of course. I just say climate change anytime I do something wrong. My wife gets mad at me, and I go, but dear, climate change.
Thank you very much. Better. It's like what? No, I'm not going to go there. I was going to say there's a number of excuses you could use, like, I don't know. Anyway, but with regard to all of these things that are being exposed, you've got the SNAP benefits. Joe Biden opened the southern border, 40% increase in SNAP benefits. We now know that hundreds of thousands of people are double billing it. We're also knowing that people are selling their SNAP benefits. So, I mean, it's good we're getting to know this stuff. And by the way, Rollins says they're going to announce a major overhaul next week. So we will see.
Again, it is Republicans who ended up funding the U.S. Department of Agriculture not till January, but for another year.
Yeah.
Even when Republicans are maybe making a mistake by just rotely funding it anyway, because God forbid there are some that slip through, they still do it. And I got to say, as far as the bleeding heart liberal thing is concerned, I'm not seeing that on the other side.
No. What about, let me ask you this, the UC Berkeley protest? It looks like Harmeet Dillon is somebody they don't want to mess with. And they're going to get a rectal exam on this one because Berkeley and some of these other universities have allowed violent mobs to go after conservatives. And this could hit them pretty hard.
So there's something really I wanted to say for quite a while.
What?
I've known Harmeet for a few years.
Yes.
This is the generation that is the future of the Republican Party. All of this infighting right now, these conversations that are happening about groups that are and aren't rising, people like Harmeet Dillon, who are in fact seeing crimes that are committed and then saying, all right, that's it, you're done, and then comes in and actually does something about it, doesn't wait for months, doesn't send a strongly worded letter, actually sends in the squad and removes the problem.
Yes.
That's the future of the party, because people are tired of, yet again, watching Berkeley University brag about how politically wonderful they are, and then turn around and, encourage people and professors to commit riots on campus that result in injury.
Well, what they did was they encouraged the free speech, they called the free speech zone at the entrance into the TPUSA event, which is like lining the walkway to the schoolhouse door in Selma with KKK members. I mean, it's the same damn thing.
Well, it's not just lining the sides and the entrances. They actually blocked the exits. That's a felony.
Oh,
you can't do that. And then, of course, again, when you look at the situations in the town leadership, whether you're talking about police forces in Berkeley or in Portland, it's the same rot that is protecting the criminal. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Azra Nomani did a great piece today on UC Berkeley's bloody protest of the TPUSA and who it's being funded by. And there are a lot of these different groups, like, for instance, 266 groups with $2.9 billion in revenue identified supporting the No Kings protest. So this is not organic. And I think once Harmeet Dillon, once Pam Bondi, once Kash Patel goes after these groups, and by the way, I just found out today that Donald Trump is going after Antifa, not domestically, but internationally. Antifa, foreign terrorist organization, that according to Jack Posobiec. So I have a feeling that this stuff is going to come to an end eventually.
It should, because if it's not, you're going to see the same kind of red 20s terrorism that happened in this country, and it needs to be dealt with the same way it was dealt with then. You have two choices, exile or capital punishment. If you participate in domestic or international terrorism, no, you're not going to get a 13-week trial and your name all over the television. No, one drone, one missile, your boat.
Yeah, or some homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews going down to the protest and bringing some billy clubs with them. Tony Kinnett, always good to have you on the radio program today. Where can people find your wonderful work?
You can go on social media. You search Tony Kinnett, Kinnett. You'll find me, or Daily Signal on YouTube and Rumble.
All right, have a glorious week, and we'll talk soon. Let's take a break. This is the Rob Carson Show. Yeah, I've got a great piece from Azra Nomani I'm going to share with you. It's really awesome. Who's watching here? Carol Leftwich, Prani Yurpachat, all you guys, all the usual suspects on Sam Ken Potter joining me on Facebook. Hello. How busy are we on the YouTube today? I Cubed is joining us. Hello and welcome to the show. I haven't seen you there before. Shelby Inslee, 9961. I think you were here yesterday. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the show. Duckman 558. Crockett caught the stupid. She was born with it, bro. She was born with it. My God in heaven. America Marcy, always good to see you there as well over on the Rumbly Roo. Jamie Lewis, what up? Hi, Rob. Why can't I comment on any of your posts on Facebook? I don't know. I'll have to look. I didn't think I had anything blocked on Facebook. You mean on the NEWSMAX feed from Facebook? If that's the case, I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. My private, I'd have to look at it. I'd have to look at my privates. Hey, ho, hi, ho. Duckman. Oh, I got to do something here. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the show. Got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. I'm finishing the studio here in D.C., and it's going to be really freaking cool. Really cool. You're gonna, when you see my studio here in D.C., you're going to go, holy crap. Gutfeld's going to go, holy crap. Anyway, and I'm going to Balmer tomorrow night. Got a big event tomorrow night in Balmer. And I'm putting out some Christmas decorations this week. By God. Tomorrow's my son's 26th birthday, too, also. He's a great guy. I miss him. I'm going to see him at Christmas. I'm going to surround myself with kids and dogs. Oh, here we go.
3 minutes, Rob, and mention that function tomorrow night. Some people have called about it.
Okay. Oh, there's always room for a Zeppelin. A lot of people have been asking in the Maryland area, Delaware area, where I'm going to be tomorrow night because I don't get a chance to make it out to a lot of our affiliates. It happens once or twice a year, hopefully much more very soon. But I'm going to do an event tomorrow in Sykesville, Maryland, near Baltimore. And it's this place called Happy Hubs, and it's X-Golf in Eldersburg, Maryland, okay? And we're going to have an 80s band there tomorrow night. I've already got the set list. Holy crap, hold on a second. I got the set list for the 80s group that's performing tomorrow night. Hold on one second. Let me get it. Let me see. It's in Scott. Here goes, Scott. What is it? Okay. Final Countdown, Money for Nothing, Rosanna, Into the World, Take on Me, Red Balloons, Best of Time, Jump, New Sensation, Let's Go Crazy, Panama, Just Like Heaven, Tainted Love. Oh, my God. So it's on the top of my Twitter feed. If you go to Rob Carson Show, it is a X-Golf Eldersburg on Liberty Road. But go to my social media if you want to find it at Rob Carson Show. I'll put it on top of the Facebook and Twitter for you. And then our anchor station, WCBM, might be putting something up there. But just go to my social media if you want to see it, because I'd love to see you. We're going to have a hell of a good time. We're going to have a hell of a good time, whether you like it or not. By the way, cybercrime is spiking this time of the year. I have protection for my main computer here because I've been attacked. I've been phished. I've been, people trying to scam, trying to get my credit card information, trying to update my payments and all that crap. And that is all crap. Phishing scams, fake emails, holiday offers, all are coming down on you, on your, even on your phone. But with WebRoot Total Protection, you get real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, phishing, etc. Plus, it protects you and your kids, maybe seniors in your family, maybe mom. She kind of falls prey to that stuff because, these new computer things that they got in the interweb, up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft, and that's bad. Plus, no annoying pop-ups. You sign up for it, and they're not going to bug you forever about it. 24/7 U.S.-based customer support for identity theft restoration. Webroot.com/Carson, 60% off. Do that today, okay? Webroot.com/Carson for WebRoot Total Protection. Just for my PC here in the studio, the one that I rely on every day, $20 for the whole freaking year. So, webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. Sign up. They won't bug you, and you're protected. There you go. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Mary Walter joins us among other things in the second hour. Don't go anywhere.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday, and what a week it has been. We had the Democrat Party lose a government shutdown. They failed it, and the great thing is that one of the reasons why this happened was, we have a president of the United States who has cojones and a spine of steel, and he's been put through hell to get to this moment, and he is unrelenting and untiring. And also the media, the liberal media, no longer holds sway over the narrative. They couldn't just say that it was all the Republicans' fault. Did you notice that for the first time ever, there were Democrats actually being called out and saying, no, I think it's actually you guys. And generally the Democrats could say anything they want about anything and never get challenged. Now, I'm not saying that the media still isn't in the tank for the Democrat Party. That's very obvious. But they no longer hold the sway that they used to. This is one of the reasons why they lost. So it's I think that it is a beginning of a turning point. Hopefully, I'm not saying that this is going to change the narrative of the media or the political stance of the media, but it's making them be accountable for their actions. This and also the $1 billion threat of a lawsuit against the BBC for lying about Donald Trump's speech on January the 6th. That is coming home to roost, not only with regard to lies about January the 6th, but also these attempts by Democrats without evidence to hint or pretend like Donald Trump had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein. So the media is recognizing that they're going to be held accountable for their lies and bullcrap. So we will see. I'm hoping to begin to maybe see a slight turn. The positive thing is the left is going far left and leaning into socialism, and it's not going to work very well for them. This Katie Wilson in Seattle she just won the mayoral election there, and she has no life experience at all. She's a failure in everything. Her husband doesn't have a job. She still gets money from her parents for rent. She's 40-something years old, and here she is with how she's going to pay for all of the stuff. And she's even further left than Mondami, if that's possible.
So I think first of all, I'm very committed to making sure that we're using our existing resources as effectively.
Okay, she's going to steer into faculty lounge gobbledygook here
and efficiently as possible. So we're going to be reviewing the way.
Okay, anytime socialism's involved, nothing is more efficient. So there's that.
Is that the city is spending money, and I think we're going to have to do that given the size of the budget deficit. And I am
starting a budget deficit with the socialists. That's not good.
Not averse to ending spending on programs that were maybe well-intentioned when they were first implemented, but aren't.
Well, all liberal programs are well-intentioned when they first start.
Fulfilling their goals.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing the very best to be the best stewards of public resources we can. I do think that we will need to pursue new.
See what I mean? That faculty lounge gobbledygook.
Progressive revenue in order to fund our priorities and make sure that we're.
That means higher taxes.
Delivering services to the people of Seattle. There's several progressive tax options I proposed as part of my platform, and so we're going to have city staff looking into developing those into legislation. Don't know yet exactly what the
that's mental masturbation. All you need to do is say, we're going to increase your taxes big time for the nonsense that we're proposing. Ta-da! That's all you need to know. And as I mentioned earlier with Tony Kinnett, right now, trillions of dollars are streaming. People streaming out of places like New Jersey, New York, and California. If, in fact, the direction the country that's headed in, led by this moron and Zoran Mondami, if that's the case, then why aren't people streaming to New York? Why aren't people going, oh my God, I'm going to pick up everything and move to New York? The answer should be obvious. Here she is basically copying Zoran Mondami, called out on CNN.
Some of the words that here in New York we heard a lot from the mayor-elect here, Zoran Mondami, right? When you talk about affordability. But the word...
Affordability is the new buzzword, okay? For our entire history, we've only been able to afford what we could afford. Affordability. Oh, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Hey, here's an idea. If I can't afford a $500,000 house, it means the affordability is not available for me, okay? You got to be able to afford what you can afford, all right? If you can't afford to live in friggin' New York City, then you move out of New York. You don't expect taxpayers to say, I'm going to pick up your rent. I'm going to control your rent. I'm going to take care of your bus rides. I'm going to take care of your daycare. Okay, affordability. They say in affordability, they want to make things affordable for losers who don't have jobs. Oh, you can't say that. Yeah, I just did. So you got idiots like this Kate Wilson, or what the hell her name is, the governor, the mayor of Seattle, who can't afford anything. She has to have her mom and dad send her money for rent, for God's sake. And she's talking about affordability. What it is, it's subsidizing losers.
Those don't end there, Mayor-elect. Let me play some.
You're making fun of poor people. No, I'm not. I was poor a good share of my life.
The very clear twin crises of affordability.
We are facing an
affordability. If you can't afford something, then get a job so you can frickin' afford something.
Crisis.
Truly affordable homes.
An affordable home ownership.
This city is your city.
This isn't their city. It's yours.
A new generation.
No. If you don't have a job and you're not a productive person, you don't pay a lot of taxes, you don't own anything, it's not your city.
Of leadership.
We can see with our own eyes that we need new leadership.
Oh.
I mean, we sometimes will put what we call a montage together like that.
Oh, is that called a montage? I never heard of that before.
Mayor-elect, it doesn't get easier than that one.
I know you're kind of young and stupid, but a montage is when you put together a bunch of clips.
I mean, it really does sound. You sound so much alike. I guess I'm just curious.
Yeah, because you guys always speak in bumper stickers.
Have you ever met him? Have you talked to each other at all since either of your victories, which are so important on Coast to Coast?
Not yet, although I certainly hope to. And it's funny because when I decided to run in this race, which was in February of this year, I'd never heard of Zohran Mamdani, and so it was.
Yeah, nobody has actually, because he was a candidate who said they discovered about 7 years ago, Linda Sarsour, and there was like $40 million brought in by radical organizations, pro-Islamic organizations, and George Soros to win a primary, of course, and then they won the election because he was running against a crap sandwich. So there's that. This is brand new from Jim Gossett about Zohran Mamdani.
New York City, he'll destroy.
And Seattle.
Marxism is his pride and joy. Mamdani.
Why aren't people moving to New York?
No bigger fraud than you.
Why are people moving out? He's offering socialist utopia.
City run grocery stores.
Good luck with that.
Private ones will close their doors. Mamdani, a commie, he's coming after you. Folks can't wait to leave that town.
Why?
New York City's going down with Mamdani. Mamdani, he doesn't care about you.
Yeah, normally when people don't go to a restaurant, it means it sucks. Normally when people stream out of a place because they don't want to live there anymore, it means that place sucks. And that's happening with New Jersey, New York, California, and then of course Seattle. And then they're going to take it a little bit further up in Idaho. Idaho, there is a transgendered individual, a guy who still has his bait and tackle and is wearing a dress. And oddly enough, a man, this guy probably in his 30s, he decided to use the word. Are you ready for this? Maxine. If you were gonna change your sex, in your 30s, like Caitlyn Jenner. Remember, it used to be Bruce Jenner. I don't know if you, some of you Gen Zers didn't know that Caitlyn Jenner used to be a dude. He was on the Wheaties boxes a long time ago. He's the world's greatest athlete in the mid-'70s. Pretty remarkable. He had hairy legs and stuff. Now he's a woman. But anyway, he wears lingerie. He's like 7 feet tall and has hands the size he could grip a basketball. He could palm a basketball. But anyway, he's a woman. And and he chose Caitlyn, and he's like 70 years old. Of all the names you could choose, he should have chosen Maxine, because he was like in his 60s when he did it. Maxine would have been perfect. But this guy's in his 30s. He decides to call himself Maxine Durant, and he's running for she, it, whatever, they, them, he, ho, ha, he, haw, he. He's running for governor of Ohio,
Maxine
Idaho.
Durant, and I'm running for governor of Idaho in 2026 as an independent socialist candidate.
Yeah.
I'm running as an independent socialist. Yeah. I'm also running as a proud member of Democratic Socialist.
Independent socialist. Socialists believe in the collective, so you get it.
Of America. I'm a member of the Southern Idaho DSA chapter, but I've also been endorsed by the chapters in Boise and the Idaho Falls and Pocatello area.
That's great.
It's important to me to talk about what I am, because I think it's important to take that name back for ourselves.
Okay, wait a minute. Your name is Maxine. It used to be Bruce or something.
People say socialist like it's just automatically a bad word.
Yeah, it is.
And the reality is, it does have a meaning.
Yeah, it does.
Look at my platform. Take a look at what I'm running for.
No, that's right.
Yes, it's socialism. But these are the kinds of policies that I think most Idahoans agree we need right now.
Yeah, Idahoans, you bet. Yeah, I know that socialism resulted in the deaths of hundreds of millions of people last century, but our brand of socialism is different. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
How do you solve a problem like Antifa? A terrorist group, that is what they are. I'm gonna solve this problem called Antifa. They have gone too far. The Democrats, they support Antifa. Their reign of terror they try to deny. Claim that Soros doesn't fund Antifa, but that's a big fat lie. We are coming after you, Antifa, in towns like Portland where you terrorize. National Guard will help to fight Antifa. They'll cut it down to size. How do you solve a problem like Antifa? They are a hate group in most people's eyes.
Well, they have a lot of cats, and they're mostly Democrats like V.P. Harris. They cry when they lose from their left-wing views. I wish they'd spare us. They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their mind.
People that are pro-life, I hate you!
Got called out by J.D. Vance. When he had the chance, he really nailed them. They're too dumb to know. Kamala and Joe have really failed them. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who are out of their minds.
free joint?
Dig it.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to know that you are living to see the end of the penny. The penny is going away. The penny has been, a major part of our history for as long as we've been alive. I've been kind of obsessed with pennies since I was a kid. You have the Indian head penny, you got the whatever penny, and I've got hundreds of pennies. Collectible pennies, I guess, in rolls, whatever. And the most valuable penny, by the way, I believe is a 1943 copper penny. And the reason being is, and they're worth like $1 million or maybe even more. I haven't looked lately, but they were made of like a tin or another alloy, and they were silver in the middle of World War II because they were using the copper for shell casings, and they were rationing the copper. And so there were only a few of these pennies stamped, these copper ones. I think they're in 1943, and I have been looking for it my entire life. I still, almost every time I see a penny, I look at it to see if it's a 1943 decopper. But it's never happened. It never will. It's like winning the Powerball. But officials say seizing the production of the 1 cent coin cost effective. Each penny made costs 4 cents. Because Donald Trump is the president, they've decided to get rid of it. If Joe Biden were there, he'd be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. It costs 4 cents? For 1 penny day, that's worth it. That's better than Obamacare, for God's sake. But they apparently printed the last penny yesterday. It's going to save the taxpayer $56 million. I'm the kind of person that if I see a penny on the ground, I pick it up. I just do. So there you go. For far too long, the United States minted pennies, which literally cost more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful. I've instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop making pennies. The U.S. Mint was established in 1792. The penny was one of the first coins to be produced. Liberty stayed on the penny for more than 60 years. 1857, the coin got smaller, and the metal composition changed to 88% copper, 12% nickel. These changes came with new designs. 1857-58, the new coins featured a flying eagle on the obverse and a wreath on the reverse. The Indian head appeared from 1859 to 1909. I got a bunch of those. 1909 is when they put Abe Lincoln on there. There you go. Now, if the penny were that size and made of gold, they wouldn't be discontinuing it. I'll just put it that way, because gold is now well over $4,000 an ounce. Yeah, gold coins, they don't become worthless like copper pennies. I mean, think about this, man. Gold is now well over $4,100 this week. It was $4,200 yesterday. Started off $4,000 earlier this week, and then in the beginning of the year, it was $2,600. So no chance of gold coins being, removed from circulation. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty, and maybe if your IRA or 401k is underperforming, you might consider putting it into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Birch Gold will send you free gold for your home for every $20,000 purchased. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty darn good. And all you've got to do, you know the drill. You ready? Here it is. Text my name, Rob, R-O-B, very easy to remember, to 989898, and you are going to get some you're going to be eligible. You're going to get free information, and then for every 20K, you're going to get free gold. So a little bonus. Maybe you should sell your pennies to somebody who's buying copper, right? I mean, I'm just saying. But that last penny, that last penny they minted yesterday, that's going to be worth some money. That's going to be worth some money. I would have been like, press it, put it in my pocket. Okay, thanks for coming out, everybody. See you later. Where'd the penny go? I have no idea. I don't know where it went. I don't know. Anyway, text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free info kit on gold to Birch Gold. What is it? What is it? Coin collecting. What is coin collecting called? Stamp collecting is, I can't remember what coin collecting is called. There's a word for coin collecting. I've got a lot of coins. I've always been obsessed with them. I'm not such a, is it a numismatist? Is that it? I don't know what it is anyway. This is good news, and I'll tell you, I've been involved with fostering, not fostering children myself, but my mother fostered children. My mother adopted me, my sister, my brother, and the foster system in America is sickening. There's a gigantic number, up to 50% of kids in foster care end up homeless. They age out of the foster system, never having a family. Can you imagine not having a family at all? No one to go to, no one for Thanksgiving, no one for Christmas, no one for anything. How tough it would be. And Donald Trump yesterday, because he's a president who doesn't have pudding for brains, he is actually doing something about it. Signed an executive order to boost support for foster children who age out of the system.
The Bible tells us that one of the measures of any society is how it cares for vulnerable children and orphans. So important, and it's so big in the Bible. So as we make America great again, we are going to protect American children in foster care, and we're going to ensure that they will never, ever be forgotten. These children will never be forgotten, and they're going to grow up to be unbelievable, strong, smart, wealthy, productive citizens.
Now, my daughter has a friend who's a roomie of hers, and he's 20 years old. And he had been tossed around the foster care system, and he ultimately ended up in a home that was not the best home, and the dad killed the mom and killed himself. And he's 20 years old, and he doesn't have a home. And I said to him, you'll always have a home with us. And he went and he did a job interview. The couple months ago. I said, well, do you have a jacket? No, I don't. I said, well, God dang it, here's some money, go get a jacket. Do you have any pants? Well, no, not really. I said, well, here, it's numismatist for the coin collecting. So I did, and I said, if you don't have a place to go for Christmas, you are welcome in our home. You are welcome in our home. But I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of kids who age out of foster care, and it is a damned shame. It is a damned shame. I'm not in the position to foster children right now because I'm divorced. I'm living by myself. If I could, I would. If you could, I hope you would. Adoption is such a glorious thing, and there's so many kids, particularly kids of color. If you look at, any of these adoption organizations, there are just so many kids, brothers and sisters, who are just begging for a loving family. And, listen, I know I discovered that biology doesn't mean a thing when it comes to your family. I discovered my biological family. I care about them very much, but my adoptive family are my family. They are the closest thing, and I think it's wonderful that the President of the United States is paying attention to this, unlike Joe Biden, who just allowed children to come across the southern border to be given to unvetted homes, trafficked for sex and for work. So there you go. Mary Walter joins us next. She's always awesome on a Friday. Well, she's awesome every day of the week, but especially on Friday because she's here. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
had a little lamb.
Oh, I miss Stevie.
His fleece was white as snow, yeah. Everywhere the child went, you know the lamb was sure to go.
This is the unofficial theme song for the one, the only Mary Walter, NEWSMAX contributor, among other things. She joins us on the NEWSMAX hotline. How you doing today, Mary?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
I saw you on NEWSMAX the other night. I can't remember what you said it was, but it was funny as hell. I remember that.
It was Carl Higbie.
Oh,
and
what was it? What would you say?
Where that came from? It just came out of my mouth.
It was hilarious. It's a lot of fun. Carl does a great job. Carl is. He is something else. He is very unique in television because he speaks like the common man. He is unfiltered, and you guys always say he always has great panels, and you, of course, are part of it as well. So it's awesome.
Thank you. He had said something that the Democrats don't have any good-looking women, and I reminded him that they do have Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. That is hilarious. Hey, did you? I got a few things I want to cover with you today. One of them was a lesbian named Hyman who went into a locker room and found a man. Here's Greg Gutfeld talking about it last night.
Congressional candidate to define what a woman is, and get this: her name is Hyman, and his name is Wiener. Sounds like I wrote this, but I didn't. And talk about destiny. But the congressional candidate, Scott Wiener, who's running for Nancy Pelosi's seat, gave an answer that would make Ketanji Brown Jackson sound smart.
As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women.
Oh my God in heaven, unbelievable! So in this case, I guess Hyman beats Wiener, but Wiener beats Hyman. But here's the thing: do you suppose this woman is the line last crossed for this nonsense?
I don't. The video that goes along with this is amazing because when she was very respectful in that meeting.
Yes.
She was very deferential.
Yes.
To the politician.
Yes.
But when they started in on her, she stood up, and this woman, let me tell you, she's ripped. She can take anybody.
Yes.
She is ripped, and she stood up and she said, "If there's another black lesbian in this room and you want to come at me, please do, but the rest of you be quiet." And I thought, I loved it because she used the whole DEI thing against them, right?
Yes.
Because everybody else in that room was white, so she was higher on the victimhood pyramid than any of them were.
I know.
And she's a lesbian, so that puts her up even higher. So they, based on their values and the system they've set up, they had to zip and let her talk.
Unbelievable. Here is that exchange. I got to play this.
I love this woman.
I got to listen to this.
I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now. And we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women? Women. Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Trans women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are.
There's a bunch of white people there, and they're telling the black lesbian that the white guy needs to kick her out of the locker room.
It was gold because, we've hit that point that we all knew we were eventually going to hit, where the victimhood pyramid is going to have to topple because it's like a Jenga puzzle. And every now and then they take a piece from farther down and they elevate it, right?
Yes.
And then some people from the top fall off, right? So they don't need lesbians anymore. And the L, G, and B have had it with the TQ plus forever. Like, they're done with all of that. And they just can't keep it up. And I love it. And she is having none of it. She doesn't care. She puts it out there. And like I said, she gets any of them in that room, especially that guy who's running. He was such a soy boy, right?
Oh, and did you see what else? He had leather gear on at a gay LGBTQII pride parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that Kennedy nephew who's running for office.
What was that? Did you see that video? Okay, so if anyone has not seen the video, you have to see the what is it? Schlossberg, is that his last name?
Yeah.
Caroline Kennedy's son, who kind of looks a little bit like JFK, like her brother, and he's totally capitalizing on that. But he's doing like this weird dance, and I posted it on X, Mary Walter Radio plug, and he's like got his finger in his mouth, like he's acting coy, and it's like, why are they all creepy? What is wrong with them?
It's just gross, just honestly grotesque. I think, like I was seeing this story about how a lot of the networks are backing away from all the LGBTQIA plus programming, part of them backing away from DEI, but they overplayed their damned hand. And unfortunately, it really has hurt a lot of people, because I know a lot. Listen, I introduced a lesbian couple at their wedding, for God's sake. I attended a gay wedding. I have no issue with it. And I feel bad for people who just happen to be gay. Listen, I always say, I don't care if you got a penis or a vagina. It doesn't have a soul. You got a soul. If you want to commit yourself to your life together, then that's up to your church to figure out. And if you want to commit yourself to somebody, that's fine. But honestly, all this other nonsense is just an insult to gay people who have common sense.
Listen, I truly don't care who you sleep with, nor do I need to know. So please stop flying the flag, so that I can figure out which team you're. I don't care. Yes. But I am not participating in your little delusion. Like you're a furry, and I'm supposed to pretend that you really are a dog. It's not happening.
It is nonsense. We're letting the insane lead the sane. You got a guy used to be a girl who's running in Idaho, wants to be a Democrat socialist governor, and I think he named himself Marge or some weird name, like old name. He's like in his 30s. Yeah, it's they've really overplayed their hand, and they've ended up.
Wait a minute.
What?
But here's what I'm going to say, not to interrupt you, but I just did.
What?
But here's the thing.
What?
We can laugh at them, but they're being very strategic. Yeah. These young weirdos who have no background. They have like no background, nothing that they've run on. They've accomplished nothing, like Zohar Mamdani, like AOC, like Barack Obama, and they're being funded by Soros and dark money, and they're strategically being put in places like Idaho, pretty much a red state. But there's enough people in Boise who are weirdos who will vote for them. Yeah. And they know that, and so they're being very, very precise and strategic about where they put these people, so we can sit and laugh at them. But they're going to be running the show in quite a few states.
By the way, just real quick, Boise is now identifying as girlsy, and you just dead named that town. We got more with Mary Walter on the other side of the break. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for
amazing.
I told you.
It's like Hogwarts.
The ladybug sanctuary.
Oh my gosh, the little cobblestones. Screw the duckies. We belong here. Do you think they're going to let us in?
Cam, relax. We're queer. We're here.
Yes, we are.
Okay, just a few more minutes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Hi. I'm Stephanie Kaner, and this is Jafar. And we have an interview with Mr. Plimpton. Wonderful. These two are first.
Single white mother, black child.
So what? Louie's Asian. We're gay. In the school admissions poker game, we're the winning hand.
That is Cam and Mitchell in Modern Family trying to get there. Do you remember that episode? It's one of the funniest episodes in television. They're trying to get into this private school.
When they first got Lily, do you remember they held her up like Lion King?
Yes.
They had a whole presentation.
Yes. But they go into this school and they think they got it because they're a gay couple with an Asian kid, and in comes a lesbian with a black child, lesbian couple, black couple, and then her partner comes in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And so he starts talking Native American to pretend like he's Native American. It is one of the best episodes of television. And I always say that Cam and Mitchell are, one of the funniest couples ever in television, like Lucy and Desi, but gay. I mean, really, really funny. But when you look at this and you got the black lesbian versus the trans guy in the locker room in LA, I think they should have Vegas tables where they have cards with different identities on them, and the winning hand, like it's like I'm out. I got 3 white guys. What do you think?
Yeah. The problem, and the great thing about that is the rules change like every day.
Yeah.
So you could have a winning hand one day, and tomorrow, sorry, you've got a black lesbian. That's not worth anything anymore.
I got to tell you though. But think about this: you've got a white guy in a locker room who still has his parts, but just says he's a woman and took the name of the wife whose jaw he broke, and that beats a black lesbian. Really?
See, according to the gym nose, they're the same.
I swear to God, it is just glorious. It is just glorious. Speaking of Las Vegas, I was talking about that. Did you see they call them dystopian Las Vegas housekeeping Olympics? This is real. There's the housekeeping Olympics. Some people have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Do you have a problem with it?
No, this is a new thing. They do it all the time. They do it every year. No one's forcing these people to participate, so but everybody needs to just get a big bowl of shut up.
Yes. It's like, listen, I mean, honestly, it's a bunch of Karens who look down on people who do these things for a living, and they somehow think that these are subsistence livings, and they hate to do it and all of that, and so they feel like they need to step in and say they're utilizing you or shaming you or whatever, and it's not a big deal. It's something that has to be done, and people take pride in their work, even if they don't have a MBA and work as a whatever. So
they prefer that their illegal help stay hidden in the dark, like in the basement. That's what they prefer.
That's perfect.
They prefer that they just never be seen or heard from. That's what they prefer.
That is just perfect. I want to mention on more of a serious note, Harmeet Dillon going after these jerks who attacked TPUSA attendees. I'm thinking the tide is turning. It started with Donald Trump going after places like Harvard for anti-Semitism, and now it's becoming this. And Harmeet Dillon, this is about to get really serious for Harvard. What are your thoughts on the anti-conservative speech movement on campus, and do you suppose we're making headway?
I'm just going to lump it in with the violence all over. If you look what was happening in Chicago today, the crowd of paid protesters, they're all paid. Listen, there was, this is to show you, even goes on at such a small level. So where we live, there is a hospital that's closing, and they're moving it to a bigger facility because where it is and has been since like literally the 1800s, and they just keep building on it. There's no more room to build, and it's become obsolete, and they can't expand, and they can't do the technology, so they're moving. So of course, for whatever reason, our Frank Pallone, our representative, yay us, and this has been going on since like 2018. He's known about this. Anyway, they've got agitators. 2 vans came in, and they had New York plates on them, and all these people get out.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, for something as small as they don't want the hospital to be moved, it's a done deal. It's moving. The property's been bought. It's done. But they're at the point where I think they're like cornered animals at this point, and when an animal is injured and cornered and is in fear, it lashes out. And that's what you're seeing happening in Chicago today, where the protesters outnumber the police. They just do. They're going to be overrun.
Yeah.
And there's been no consequences. You know, Harmeet Dillon, this is great that there's finally going to be consequences, but they have to parade these people. They have to shoot. You know, there has to be a mug shot. I need a perp walk. You need to make it public.
Yes.
And they can't just get bailed out. They can't just bond out. There have to be serious repercussions.
Amen.
That are more than the $250 they're going to make for protesting. And then at 1 o'clock, when the money runs out and they're all off the clock, they all disappear.
Yeah. Finally, on the list today, these are the names compiled by Namekin, a company that analyzes records worldwide, names that are about to disappear. The top 10, here they are. Lauren, Karen, you can see why Karen has taken a hit the last few years.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Karen. I really do feel bad for Karen. But you know, Karen became it seemed to fit. It just seemed to fit. So those of you named Karen, I'm sorry about that. Sheila, Brenda, Gladys. Oh, my God, I thought Gladys was going to make a comeback. And for guys, Galvin, Roderick, Gary. Gary is effectively kind of non-existent anymore. Neville and Dale. Good old Dale. Nobody's naming their kids Dale anymore.
Well, I don't know anybody named Neville. That seems to be a British thing. Where the number one baby name is Muhammad in Britain.
I know.
You know, but everything old is new again. I just met, you say Mary. It's such an old name. Oh, my gosh, you must be so old. I just met a little girl named Mary.
Yeah, well, Mary's a great name, though.
So I think some of these come back. I do.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that I saw on TV on a reality show, they named their baby Laura.
Oh, I like Laura. Laura's all right.
I think we went through a period where everybody had to have a different name. Their kid had to have a different name. Yeah. And I think those kids grew up and said, wow, sucks to be named a name that no one else has or no one understands what your name is, right? So they struggled. They didn't get the little red license plate for the back of their bicycle. You know,
couldn't find it.
You know,
There's no Shiliquas. There's no Shiliquas out there. All right, so Mary, thanks for joining me today. Where can people hear your podcast and all of your other work?
Yes, you can find me on NEWSMAX later today.
Yes.
I'll be on with Todd Starnes on N2 starting at 5 o'clock. I will be on Wake Up America on Monday at 8:50 in the morning on NEWSMAX, and then I'll be on the Chris Salcedo Show later on Monday as well.
All right, cool. Have a glorious weekend. We'll talk again soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Wicked late. All righty. Who's watching? Round a Pony. Valentina's back. Hello, Valentina. BF05, good to see you on the Rumbly Roo. You guys got a big kick out of that Hyman versus Wiener, didn't you? Round a Pony says, look forward to these 3 hours every day chatting with the Carsonites, supporting Rob and laughing and learning from y'all. Yeah, it's good to see you guys on the Rumbly Roo talking to one another. Also over on YouTube, we got a lot of people talking on YouTube. New names being added every day. Gary, I know, Gary. Weird Science. and SpongeBob. His snail is named Gary. Gary is not being, a lot of people named Gary anymore. Parks and Recreation. Is it Gary or Larry? Or is it Jerry? Is the character Gary, Larry, or Jerry? There's always some questions about that. That episode of Modern Family is one of the best episodes of television ever, by the way. It is simply brilliant. Just brilliant television. Great comedy. Also, the Parks and Recreation, the very final episode of Johnny Karate is one of the best episodes of television as well. I just saw it last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Just hilarious. I love legendary comedy. The last episode of Newhart, that was another one that was amazing. Absolutely hilarious. He wakes up in bed with Suzanne Plachette. You Gen Xers and Boomers will understand this, but it was hilarious. Don't remember the last episode of Cheers. I know I was watching it. We had a big radio party for it. Last episode of MASH, I think, was in elementary school. I watched that. But, yeah, you got to watch that Modern Family. Cam and Mitchell, they are Desi and Lucy, but gay. absolutely some of the best written, acted, brilliant.
Give me $250 a year.
All right, it's the Rob Carson Show. A lot of stuff coming up on the show, including, Christian Toto. I want to talk more about the Berkeley protests and how Harmeet Dillon's going after him. Top 5 injuries and illnesses we see on Thanksgiving. Not a big surprise. Burns, orthopedic injuries, head injuries, stomach woes. Of course. Worst thing that ever happened. Are you ready for that? I'm going to tell you my worst Thanksgiving thing. It was a few years ago. I was at home, and I'm one of these, I'm the funkle, right? And I'm also the guy who always feeds the dogs. I'm the guy who sneaks the dog over and gives them some turkey while everybody yells and says, don't give the dog turkey. So I'm at my mom's house. This is about 20 years ago. And she's got the Shih Tzus out in the penned area outside by the garage. And I decide to sneak out there and give them some turkey. Because I'm the funkle and those poor dogs are outside. So I go out and, I'm sneaking out, all the nephews and nieces and everybody there. And I go out and I drop some turkey into the pen with a couple of Shih Tzus that she had there. And I go back inside. And about an hour later, I hear screaming. And I'm like, what the hell? And my mother went outside and my niece went outside. And the Shih Tzus reacted to the turkey like sharks on chum and got in a fight. And one of them tore the eyeball out of the other one. So the rest of the afternoon, we spent finding an emergency veterinarian because Uncle Rob gave turkey to the Shih Tzus, and they reacted like a feeding frenzy, and they nearly fought each other to the death, and one of them lost an eyeball. That was my Christmas, and I tried to keep it cool, like I didn't know what happened for a long time, right? Until a few years ago, we were all together, and they said, "Oh yeah, we know you gave the Shih Tzus turkey. You jerk. You gave the Shih Tzus turkey." Yeah, that's my big Thanksgiving injury story involving feeding 2 Shih Tzus and having them nearly kill each other, and trying to recover from that. And trust me, every time I go home now, no matter even my age, I'm the patriarch of the family now, and everybody makes fun of the time that Uncle Rob gave the Shih Tzus turkey, and one of the turkeys bit the eyeball out of the other Shih Tzu, and we spent the day finding an emergency vet to put the dog's eyeball in, and a glass eyeball and everything. I know, great. My whole life is about emotional baggage. It's arriving on carousels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bet you'd have a hard time topping that one, kids, to be honest. I know. God has a sense of humor. God has a very dark sense of humor, but he likes to make fun of me. Let's take a break and come back. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust NEWSMAX. NEWSMAX.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
Hold it now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. It is already the 14th of November, for crying out loud. Turkey Day. Thanksgiving is coming up. Yeah, I don't call it turkey. I just said it that one time. I call it Thanksgiving. I actually, I probably enjoy Thanksgiving as much as I do Christmas. It's just, when I grew up, it was, my mom would cook for like 45 to 60 people. And she did it all herself, and it was always glorious. It was the only time of year our family wasn't fighting. And by the way, the story of the Shih Tzus fighting, that was real. Might have to put that up on the social media later as a clip of the show. I won Thanksgiving about 20 years ago, threw turkey to mom's Shih Tzus, and one of them nearly killed the other by tearing its eyeball out. Yeah, it's hard to, come back to that and, hey, pass the turkey, and it's kind of weird. It's my whole life, man. That is my life. Yeah, the book is coming, by the way. The book is coming. It's going to be called Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews, How We Came Together to Save America. Part of it is going to be autobiographical, by the way. So there is that. I do want to mention, UC Berkeley's bloody protest of the TPUS event is apparently funded by a far-left nonprofit. This is not a big deal. I'm hoping, really am hoping, that some people get, like George Soros gets extradited for trial in America, because this is all Marxist nonsense. Marxism, communism never succeed by votes. They succeed by revolution, and in this case, it is not a revolution that is wanted. It is a violent revolution bought and paid for by others. Last month, a band of demonstrators, this is according to a new article by Azro Nomani, who's a fantastic journalist. She did it for Fox. A band of demonstrators marched across the West Temple Street in downtown Los Angeles in the national anti-Trump No Kings protest, carrying a banner that read, "Defeat Trump's fascist takeover, stop ICE raids and deportations by any means necessary." In the corner, there were four bold letters that said BAM, B-A-M-N, an acronym for by any means necessary. A coalition to defend affirmative action, integration, and immigration rights, and fight for equity by any means necessary. This organization is one of 266 groups with combined revenues of $2.9 billion identified leading the No Kings protests. So it was never organic. It was always a frickin' joke. For you leftist morons who think that you have any sort of movement going against Donald Trump, it's all crap. It's absolutely nonsense, as organic as a Twinkie. A flyer circulated before the demonstration urged participants to end fascist turning points, youth-oriented program to incite of incitement to violence when they commit the violence. They announced the rally outside of Zellerbach Hall on Berkeley campus an hour before the doors opened. The flyer looks like many other activist handouts, but its digital trail tells a deeper story. A QR code on the flyer leads to a page on bam.com, a domain displayed on the hashtag No Kings banner weeks earlier for the group by any means necessary. On the page, visitors could go directly, download a PDF of the flyer. Journalist Andy No, the author of a book on far-left violence and the Antifa network, shared the flyer on social media, warning that by any means necessary is a long-standing fixture within the chaotic ecosystem of groups associated with the Antifa anti-fascist movement. So this is bought and paid for. As experts note, the case shows how many organizations leverage nonprofit status to claim moral and legal legitimacy while allegedly fomenting organized street violence, sectarian division, and communal hate activities outside the boundaries of charitable purpose. So Harmeet Dillon and Pam Bondi are going after these sons of bees, when this happens, then they're going to fall apart. And I would certainly encourage this as the way to get it done. If not, there's going to have to be some heads cracked. I came up with the expression homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews because I said eventually there's going to have to be a coalition of men who get together and say enough is enough with this bullcrap, and we defend Jewish kids on campus, and we defend conservative on campus. And if that means bringing a bunch of bikers in and kicking some ass, then that's what we're going to have to do. Thank you. It's time for these children to get a spanking, a much-deserved spanking. They left $2 billion worth of damage in the summer of 2020. They killed 30 people. They injured thousands of police officers. And by God, it had better get done, or we're going to do it. We are going to do it. I'm sick and damn tired of this crap. The children need a spanking. Here is Harmeet Dillon talking about going after UC Berkeley, talking on CNN. CNN acting clueless as to why they would want to go after these creeps.
Attorney General Harmeet Dillon joins me now from Washington. Harmeet, thanks for being with us. Why the investigation?
I don't know.
Well, look, when I saw...
Why the investigation? I don't know. What the hell? I mean, only just because conservative groups get attacked all the time, and only because Antifa and all these other a-hole groups have caused so much violence. I don't know, CNN. Why don't you investigate before you ask a stupid question?
I saw this video online. I felt like I had flashbacks, or it was Groundhog Day, because UC Berkeley has a long history of allowing violent protesters to disrupt conservative speakers.
Defund every frickin' dime from that university.
On the campus, in fact, in 2017, I actually got involved in a legal dispute where I was the lawyer suing UC Berkeley over very similar scenes. There was a series of 3 conservative speakers who wanted to speak on the campus, and the campus police and the broader Berkeley police stood by and allowed American citizens coming to...
They are allowing the violence to happen. They're doing the same damn thing, including the police in Portland, allowing Antifa to go after ICE agents.
See an event on an American public campus get violently assaulted, and the event never happened. And that's what we see here in this event. There was a sold-out crowd of over 2,000 tickets for this event with Rob Schneider, the comedian. Yeah. And in fact, only 1,000 people were allowed to enter. There were shenanigans with the ticketing, but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, because of these little a-holes signed up for tickets and did not show because they wanted the auditorium to be half empty. Then they made the entrance into the facility into the free speech zone, allowing all of this mob of Antifa to surround the crowd trying to get in. So it's basically like, say, for instance, you are bringing a black child into a southern white school in 1963 in Alabama and making them walk through a row of KKK members. You can't say that. Well, I just did, because it's the same damn thing.
Come because of what we call the heckler's veto, the violent mob allowed to fester outside. And this is not protest. I respect protest. What we have here is a terrorist organization allowed to run wild in an American city, on an American campus, funded by taxpayers. It's illegal, and we won't let it stand.
Yeah, and all of this bullcrap anti-Israel stuff is all a part of this. All of this faux movement, this by anti-Semites, has always been fake, and it has to be put out of our misery. People are going to have to go to jail. Or worse. The convergence of tax-exempt organizations, campus unrest, and politically motivated violence underscores an emerging challenge in the nonprofit sector. In groups like By Any Means Necessary, allegedly exploit the credibility of financial protections of charitable status while acting as a de facto political operatives. What did I say? The Democrat Party is a de facto civil war against us with plausible deniability. Right? Who said this? I did. Thank you very much. Often in coordination with broader ideological movements like Students for Justice in Palestine, first established at UC Berkeley by Palestinian-American academic Hatem Biziam, whoever the hell that is. It's all the same crap. All of this crap is all affiliated. All of it. This piece by Azra Namani is up. I think it's on Fox's page. She's just doing a fantastic job as a journalist, and I've had her on the show many, many times to talk about this. I saw Brett Weinstein on with Joe Rogan the other day, and you may recall for the last few years, if you've been listening to the show, if you're new to the show, pardon me, but there was a expression by Voltaire that someone sent me years ago that said, those who are made to believe absurdities will commit atrocities. If you believe that Donald Trump is a Marxist and Hitler, you will try to kill him. If you believe that Elon Musk is Hitler or a Nazi, you will burn his dealerships. If you believe that a girl can become a boy, you will put her on hormones. You will remove her breasts, healthy breast tissue. You will give her a hysterectomy. You will fashion a phallus from the skin of her arm and dangle it between her legs like an ear waiting to be reattached. And you will say she's a boy. That is your freaking Democrat Party. They are the subject of social contagion, and these are the groups that present it to them, and they gobble it up. Listen to Brett Weinstein. And think about this. Those who are made to believe atrocities or absurdities will commit atrocities, and they have.
I don't know how you could say this, Joe, because we're not passing the test, right? COVID tells us that people are capable of being whipped up into a witch hunting frenzy.
You didn't get vaccinated. You are part of the problem. Don't stand within 6 feet of me. Kids can't eat together. You can't go to church.
Over a cold.
Over, I will say,
a bad cold.
Over something that does not happen.
If you fell for it, you are such an idiotic sheep. You're a sheep and a lemming. You're a shemming. You're a shemming.
Of a substantial case fatality rate. And they're...
If you're still wearing a mask, you're a pile of shemming.
Capable of being induced to bully each other into developmentally damaging restrictions on kids, into
your daughter can become a boy,
taking experimental genes,
and boys can go into girls' locker rooms and compete and beat them in sports. That makes sense, you shemmings.
Therapies and shunning people who refuse to or who pointed out that might be a dangerous thing to do. So that's all before
completely disregarding history.
Right.
We're agreeing to be idiots. We're all agreeing that to be a good person you have to be an idiot. That's crazy.
So that's a status report on how well we are doing.
Yeah, and it all started with Karen. The woman who Malcolm X warned everyone about, the white liberal, and what they fell for and what they made us do, and their days are done. They are done, and I hope that Harmeet Dillon and this DOJ goes after these SOBs, takes them down, and puts some people in jail. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys.
Mom Donnie, a socialist. Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of a muss. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
I make the Democrats look incredibly dumb. Inflation is down, the economy's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come since we bombed Iran. Taking out all their nukes, that was part of the plan. The border's secure once again. Illegals are getting in. Doge has saved us billions. This is what it's like to win. Best is yet to come, and it's gonna be fine. Best is yet to come. Hear the Democrats whine. Listen to them whine. The last laugh is mine.
Okay.
Fasten your seatbelt, deep state. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Christian Toto is going to talk at the bottom of the hour about Hollywood and movies and stuff like that. I've been watching something on NEWSMAX. I've watched a lot of stuff on NEWSMAX. But I've been watching the remake of it's not really a remake. It's a totally different presentation of Frankenstein on Netflix. I think it's artful and pretty amazing. A little long, but really good. So we'll get to that. By the way, my TV show is Rob Carson's What in the World? It is on Sunday nights on NEWSMAX following Dr. Michael Savage. I know it's an unlikely place to put a comedy show, but Michael Savage, Dr. Michael Savage, are you ready? Thinks I am one of the funniest people on television. He watches that show. He came back to radio. The only time he's come back to radio since he left radio was on my show a couple years ago because he loves my show. And he watches my show after his show airs. So that's pretty crazy. If I can get Michael Savage to laugh, because he's not exactly known as a jovial person, he's a pretty serious guy. And he watches my show. And so my show follows his show on Sunday. So there, I know it's kind of give you a whiplash going from Michael Savage to Rob Carson with the comedy and everything. But it's a really good show. And then this weekend, it's off the hook, man. The hamster on cocaine between my ears nearly OD'd. He's like, boom. I mean, boom. This weekend is, it's one of the funnier ones I've done. So NEWSMAXTV.com. But please, will you do me a favor? And Sunday night, 8:30, set your DVR, watch it, okay? Maybe you'll be watching football all day. It's a great way to wrap up your Sunday. Rob Carson's What in the World? George in California wants to talk about Berkeley. Hello, George. Welcome to the show. What's up, brother?
Hello, Rod. Now, I want to talk about suppression of the media, from the media there on that incident at Berkeley. I don't know. I'm not sure if Erica Kirk was attending there or not. That's not really the point.
No, she wasn't there.
The local media, and even the local chapter of Fox, what they do is they put it out, then they get some kind of rights over it to lock it down so it never gets into the national networks. Now, I've noticed they do this all the time when there's a big deal that goes down in the Bay Area. They did it with the riots, did it with when they set fire to all the dealerships in Oakland, and they were setting fire to the car dealers. Yeah, they're trying to suppress it and make it all local and not let it get out so that people know what's going on.
You know what's going to have to happen? You know what's going to happen to George? I think what's going to have to happen is bikers. I'm not talking about biker gangs. I'm not talking to Hell's Angels. I'm talking about bikers like my brothers.
Altamont Speedway.
Go down to the next TPUSA events, and we get some badasses to provide security, and we show up. Not like the Rolling Stones concert. We don't want that. But we get some patriotic. Hold on a second. We get some patriotic veterans. We get police officers, ex-police officers. We get hillbillies, homeboys, and Hebrews, and we show up at these events, and we line the pathway getting into these venues for TPUSA events at these radical universities and see if these little D-weeds decide to do that sort of crap. I'm serious. I'm done with this crap. This can't exist in America anymore.
Now, when I got on Chaps yesterday and the day before. I got on Chaps yesterday and the day before.
You got it. What is Chaps? What is Chaps?
No, Chat. The Chat.
Oh, Chat. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was on all conservative chats. And I was even listening to some of the ones that I'm not getting on. None of them wanted to bring up the riot in Berkeley.
Well,
and these are the kind of chats where they cover all this kind of stuff all the time, and they're really big on bolstering all this stuff on. But for some, they didn't. When I put a comment and a question like, "Are you going to bring up the Turning Point event in Berkeley and almost 1,000 people or more rioting there," and they wouldn't respond. So, like, is it that they're not hearing the news because it's not?
Oh, I think they know what's going on. I think they know what's. Everybody knows what's going on. Every conservative knows what's going on. I'm not sure what kind of chat you're checking out, but you're in the right chat right now, George. You're in the right chat now, right, buddy?
You had me going the other day. You had me laughing, man.
What?
You said something about last week or sometime that got me laughing more than ever. I forget exactly.
Was it the story about Tish Hyman and the guy running for Congress named Weiner, and Hyman met Weiner at a meeting and Weiner beat Hyman and Hyman left. Was that the one?
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I'm telling you, you said something last week that had. I'd say I should have written it down because it was the best.
Well, the Hyman Weiner joke today had the Hyman Weiner joke had a lot of people laughing today.
And Gossett had me laughing too. Yeah, you were really running them out last week. Okay, man, have a good day.
You know, that's what makes this show different. You see. I'm the only conservative show that does leading edge opinion and does comedy. That's just what we do. That's what we do. Like, for instance, Jim Gossett did this song about Donald Trump and the BBC. I'm going to play that again right now because he's threatened to sue him for $1 billion today. Said, sorry.
A sorry day in London town. The BBC is going down.
Love the standards.
Apology.
We have standards here.
Is not enough.
They're musical, actually.
I plan to sue them. Yes, I'll hang tough.
Come on now.
$1 billion. It will be sought.
Come on, James.
The BBC. They got caught. Apology won't be enough for me.
Come on down.
'Cause to a civil court I will be taking the BBC.
Jim Gossett. Genius. If you want to help him out, go to patreon.com, patreon.com/Jim Gossett Comedy. There's no other show that does it. There's another guy who does a national show. He does his own parodies, and they're terrible. I mean, he's a really nice guy, don't get me wrong, but his songs are terrible, and mine are really, really good, and I've been doing it for a long time. Did it for Limbaugh, and now I'm working with Jim Gossett, who is brilliant. And so keep it going. Help him out, if you would, because being a conservative content producer ain't easy. It's not an easy road to hoe. So I'm not talking about Jasmine Crockett. Anyway, just go to patreon.com/Jim Gossett Comedy. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. From Hollywood in Toto, the one, the only, Christian Toto joins us next on this Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code NEWSMAX, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code NEWSMAX at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word NEWSMAX for up to 40% off.
all progressive guys cross their legs like women. What they do, literally, it's a sign. I cross my legs. As I cross my leg, it'll hike up my top leg, pant leg, and it'll expose my colorful sock. And then you'll know where I'm at. By the way, you can watch them all. Watch Gavin Newsom. Watch them all. Watch them how they cross their legs, and then watch how Trump crosses his legs. He doesn't cross legs. He holds his legs wide open.
He puts a diamond in front of his testicles. Right. It's just like this every time.
So there's Trump with the diamond. His diamond, which accentuates his nut. And then you have Justin Trudeau signaling, I have no balls. I have no balls. I will sit in this position for 4 hours, cut off the circulation of my nut because I do not have balls, but I have colorful socks.
There you go.
So you know where I'm at. Ladies, gay community, you know where I stand. Look at my socks and watch me cross my legs like a chick.
The classic, the original team, Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, reuniting there for that conversation, talking about how Gavin Newsom and Justin Trudeau, cross their legs to show their socks, and Donald Trump man spreads. He man spreads. I just thought that was classic, and I'm a big fan of Adam Carolla, and of course he lives in L.A. I believe that Christian Toto got the hell out of that place, and he joins us on the NEWSMAX hotline from Hollywood. And Toto, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Yeah, I don't cross my legs like that. I have to say.
I don't. I do the one where you got the ankle on the top of the other knee, so it's like a triangle. Yeah. I do that.
Yeah, I could. That's a doable move.
I do man spread occasionally. But anyway.
And you feel very guilty, as you should.
Honestly, that whole thing where you ride in the subway and a guy decides to sit that way is so stupid. I mean, really, who cares? Honestly, you got too much time on your hands and you're too easily offended to worry about stupid crap like that. Let's talk about some things going on. I want to mention this at the top here, and I briefly texted you. This new treatment of Frankenstein on Netflix. I think it does have its faults, but I thought it was a unique take. It's a little long, but I thought it's pretty good. It was a different take. It was something like we haven't seen before, including Young Frankenstein. But I kind of liked it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, visually, it's just amazing to look at for sure.
Yeah,
that's Guillermo del Toro. Even when he's off the mark, it just is a visual storyteller, unlike many others.
Yeah.
I thought it was fascinating. I am endlessly intrigued by the Frankenstein story.
Yeah.
I grew up with the grunting, groaning Frankenstein, but the real monster, I believe, back in the Shelley version, did speak. I mean, it was more eloquent. So
yeah. Your phone is cracking up, I think. Can you hear that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, he does speak in this one. And this one is, it combines a couple of different things. It has Dr. Frankenstein on he's found by an Arctic voyagers. They're trying to reach the North Pole, and they rescue him, and the monster's trying to. It's a really interesting take. And then it's him telling the story of creating Frankenstein. And it was, I thought it was really. That was a very good take. A little bit late. We're going to have to segue into the Christmas mode. My pumpkin is still in front of my apartment door. I probably should get rid of that,
huh? Listen, the day after Halloween, I went into a store and there was Christmas music piping out from the speakers. So I was like, come on, give me a few days to kind of transition, please.
I think this was the Nightmare Before Christmas that did this. It brought Halloween and Christmas together. It's weird. It's just bizarre, to be quite honest. You had mentioned South Park. I used to be a big fan of South Park. I never really couldn't wait to see the next episode of South Park. I always appreciated the show, but they've gone way left, and honestly, they've kind of pounded this make fun of Jesus thing into the ground. Do you think that's kind of over, and what are they doing?
Well, I wasn't quite sure initially, because this whole new season has been aggressively anti-Trump in a way that's really not funny. I mean, a good Trump joke is a good Trump joke, and I get that. But a lot of stuff just felt over the top, and Trump on the show is having an affair with Satan,
Hey, Christian, your phone is totally cracking up. Can we reestablish the connection? Is that possible? Would you mind, Brian? Could you hang up and call him back or do whatever you need to do? Because it's just not. I'm not getting the full effect of the awesome conversation we normally get from Christian Toto. So if you can reconnect there real quick, that would be great. Yeah, I'm kind of done with South Park. I don't know what it is. What's the point? Why are they doing career suicide? Why are they doing career suicide? I don't understand it. Plus, also, there isn't a lot of truth to it. Why don't you make fun of Joe Biden as much? Why don't you make fun of Kamala Harris and her book tour, for God's sake? I mean, honestly, and it's the same way with late night. It's the same way with Kimmel and Colbert. They're committing career suicide. The only person who is not, I guess, is possibly Jimmy Fallon, but even then, he's kind of a non-factor anymore. And Gutfeld is continuing to absolutely kick butt. Do we have him back? Tell me when he got him back on there, Brian, and we will get him on and continue the conversation. All right, is he back? Christian, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's better now.
Yeah, continue with the thoughts on South Park and since Trump was reelected.
Yeah, the show never really hit him consistently hard in the past. And listen, he's a president, he's open, he's fair game. But what the show has done brilliantly over the years is always really hit everyone, hit both sides, left, right, middle, center, you name it, they targeted if they saw something that deserved to be mocked. And I think it really has served the show well over decades now. But now it's just relentless. They're ignoring so much on the left. Yeah. And then the team behind the show just gave an interview, I think it was the New York Times, and they just sounded like liberals now. They just said, well, this is the taboo. You can't really make fun of Trump anymore, so that's why we're doing that. Well, everyone does it. Everyone has done it. Yeah. It's been the most one-sided kind of pop culture situation since 2015, and there's nothing brave or bold about it. Sorry, it just isn't.
No, it's not. Sydney Sweeney has a new movie. She plays a lesbian boxer. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Charlize Theron playing Eileen Wuornos in Monster. Remember that?
Yeah, she kind of had an unglam to a significant degree, and she won the Oscar for it, so that didn't work for Charlize. But I don't think this one is going to go that far. But, Sydney Sweeney is terrific in the movie. It is a compelling story. I didn't really know much about the facts behind Christy Martin, but she had a tumultuous relationship with her husband, I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
And it's a good film, so it's certainly worth seeing. I mean, women's boxing has never really exploded like they wanted it to, but it's a compelling story. Is a compelling story, and I think Sydney does herself proud here.
Yeah, well, Jello and oil wrestling generally have gathered some serious attention with it. Sorry.
Well, you mentioned that. I think that would have gotten better box office.
Guys don't want to see women beat each other with boxing gloves. They want to see something else. One other thing, Jimmy Kimmel's wife, for God's sake, this woman, honestly, is a Karen Supreme. She said that she basically left her family because of Trump. What a ridiculous person. It's not surprised that Jimmy is as awful as he is because of her and them together.
Yeah, the one funny thing she said, but it was not intentionally funny, was that she's worried about her friends and family when they get misinformation. Well, look at her husband. All he does is spread misinformation night after night on his show. So you think that she maybe would look a little inward and say, hey, Jimmy, can you cut it out and maybe tell the facts? But that's not what she wants to do.
Unbelievable. Christian Toto, thanks for joining me. Maybe instead of the boxing movie, they need to do the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling 2 with Sydney Sweeney. Remember that movie? Where can people listen to your podcast and find you online, sir?
The new show should be out in about an hour. You just go to YouTube. You can go to iTunes. You can go to Rumble. It is there. Or just go to HollywoodInToto.com.
All right. Thanks for joining me today. Have a glorious weekend, bud. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Making it right. It is a Rob Carson Show, Audio Slave, Show Me How to Live. Love that song, love that song. A lot of stuff to get to on the show today, and as usual, I'm not going to be able to get to all of it, but I do want to touch on a few things here. Gavin Newsom is running for president, and he is such a faker, such an awful, just a frat boy, soy boy from hell. He's making excuses now for not rebuilding the homes after the Palisades fires while he's going around the world talking about, climate change nonsense. And we'll get to that in one moment. I gathered some headlines over the last few months that I've shared with you about gold. By owning gold and silver, it's more critical than ever. That's an article I read a couple months ago. Gold is on the record run. Here's how to invest. Precious metals specialist Philip Patrick says that 73% of central banks looking to massively increase gold holdings over the next 4 years. Gold prices reached $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever. That was just a week ago. And it's on a record run. It's remarkable, and I've been talking about it for a while. Birch Gold is who I've invested my money with, and I hope you might consider doing the same thing, because right now Birch Gold through the end of the month is going to offer you free gold. When you invest $20K, so you maybe got $20K in an IRA or 401K, you just have it transferred very easily. They handle all the heavy lifting. You just give them the information, it's done, and then they get it done. And then you get free gold for every $20,000. What? Yeah, free gold for every $20,000. And the reason why gold is kicking butt is because of global uncertainty. The central banks are buying gold. It's making it more precious. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free info kit on gold, and more importantly, to be eligible for free gold with every $20,000. And you're going to need a whole lot more than that for your retirement. $20,000 in your retirement ain't going to do anything. It's going to make you, that won't even last you a year, for goodness sake. So get on that, will you? You get free information by just texting my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, okay? Birch Gold. Here's Gavin Newsom. He was in in South America at a climate conference, took a private jet to go there, talking about all of these. Now, I want you to think about this, because this isn't happening in Iowa. This isn't happening in Idaho. This isn't happening in Washington State. This isn't happening in Maryland. This is not happening in Illinois. This is not happening in Mississippi. It's only happening in California. It's not happening in Mexico. It's not happening in Canada. It's not happening in Hawaii. It's only happening in California.
In my state included, which is one of the most blessed and cursed states.
So God is like looking at California like an ant with your kid. You're pointing at an ant with a magnifying glass and trying to burn it.
As it relates to climate, we're on the tip of the spear of climate change. Simultaneous droughts and simultaneous floods.
They're no worse than they've ever been. In fact, right now it's raining heavily, and hopefully this dimwit will actually, instead of letting the water run into the sea, might fill up some reservoirs.
The hots are getting a lot hotter.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
You saw one of the most devastating wildfires in American history in the middle of winter.
That's because of malfeasance by the police or the fire department there, and water mismanagement by you.
In Los Angeles, in January, 100-mile-an-hour winds attached to fire. And as we rebuild, the number one concern people have, how do I get my home insured? And how do you get a
Why are you not home fixing the problem, you jackweed?
Developer to develop a home that can't get a mortgage, which requires...
Oh, my God. Now, listen to this. This is a guy confronting the L.A. City Council because they spent $450 million. You ready? $450 million to house 1,144 people. Now, I put this, I think it was $450,000 a piece. So it's only 1,144 people. So if you divide a family of four, that's, 300 people. And the money just disappeared. Listen to this.
So far, we have spent $450 million to permanently house 1,144 people.
Gavin Newsom has blown $30 billion on homeless, and homelessness has only exploded in California.
$450 million to permanently house 1,100 people. That's an absolute failure.
Yeah.
But that money is going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not like that money is just falling into the abyss.
It's greasing the palms of NGOs and other organizations who support politicians. The same damn thing happened here in Washington, D.C. for the last how many ever years to the tune of trillions of dollars.
That money ends up being somebody's profit. The non-profit industrial complex who's making a ton of money off of it.
Yes.
And most of those people are politically connected to Hugo and Nithya and Karen Bass, of course, and actually all of you people. Moving on to 35, talking about street lighting. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. It is a giant cabal. It is evil. It is wicked. It takes your money by the billions and trillions of dollars, and nothing ever gets fixed. But people get rich off of it. Kind of funny. Here is Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi with her loose partial sucking her teeth, talking about the reason why the southern border was opened wholesale to allow millions of people to come across the southern border. They're trying to do a little CYA. It's ridiculous for them to do that. But here is this awful, wretched woman, this woman who's going to go, adopt away her flying monkeys when she leaves Congress, saying that the southern border and all of the child sex trafficking and everything was caused by climate change. Now, realize, of course, that I guess climate change stopped when Donald Trump got elected.
Then we also, some of us on the immigration issue had traveled to the Northern Triangle a few years ago, and what we found there is one of the reasons people were migrating to the United States is what has been mentioned, and that is they had a drought. The people couldn't.
Okay, why did all the Chinese and Afghanis and Iranians and people from 130 countries come across the southern border in Mexico?
Farm, so they didn't have a job, and they didn't have the food that farming would produce. Hence, they were coming.
Oh my God, this woman is so despicable.
To the United States. So this is again, as the Congresswoman.
I need to take a shower. My God in heaven, ugh, grotesque. I want to wrap it up with something funny. Actually, this is George Carlin talking about. No, actually, I'm going to save it for the other side of the break because I'm running a little bit late here. I'll wrap it up with George Carlin's thoughts on climate change and what a fool's errand it has been. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Birch Gold. It's that time of year when Birch Gold gives free gold. Have we had fun today? I think we have. Jamie Lewis, how'd you like my story about Thanksgiving? That was pretty depressing, right? The Shih Tzus. My Sundays early with Food Network and Fox News. Coffee First now raising two-time TECA operation. What? I don't even know what that is, but yeah, okay. I watch HGTV. I watch Food Network. I like to watch Guy Fieri eat. What the hell is it about? I've watched hundreds of hours of Guy Fieri eating. It's like, oh, I'm going to watch Guy Fieri eat. You know, he's going to another Diners, Drive-In, and Dive. Oh, my God. I'm just going to watch Guy Fieri eat and go, What? Really? What? That said, I do want to go to Baltimore when it's safe and go on a Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives tour because he's gone to a bunch of restaurants there, and I would like to go there. I want to go on a tour. Let's look over on the YouTube. Love the new Frankenstein. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful movie. It's a little long. But it's a beautiful movie. It's brilliantly acted. It's dark. It's pretty cool. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV, unfortunately. I mean, when I get home, I watch news. I got 3 different news channels, and I'm recording audio at home and cutting it. My life. But I love doing it. I'm so blessed to do what I do for a living. So there you go. Let's see. Robert Lawson, Dems have lasers to make it rain. Okay. It is raining in Southern California, big time, which is, great. You should be happy about it because it does. Here we go.
Number 310.
All right.
The planet has been here for 4.5 billion years, all right? 4.5 billion. We've been here, 100,000? Maybe. 200,000? Maybe. And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years.
That's true, yeah.
200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? that somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just floating around the sun? Planet has been through a lot worse than us for a long time. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, bombardments for hundreds of thousands of years by comets and asteroids and meteors, sandstorms, erosion of all kinds, cosmic radiation, worldwide fires, worldwide floods, recurring ice ages, and we think some aluminum cans and some plastic bags are going to make a difference?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Kathy Hochul has backed off on the idiotic ban on putting gas stoves in buildings in New York City. They had planned on doing that next year, I guess. And it's so just utterly ridiculous because if you go up 30,000 feet and you look down, you can't even see a gas stove, for God's sake. You couldn't see 1,000 gas stoves. If they were all, you couldn't see 10,000 gas stoves. It would look like a speck of pepper on the ground. But for some reason, because it's close to us and because you could smell the diesel exhaust from the truck in front of you, somehow it's destroying the world. That's the left for you. They can smell diesel fumes coming out of the exhaust of a truck in front of them. They think the entire world smells like that. It's like Gavin Newsom. We had a drought this year. Oh, it's a worldwide thing. What a moron. What a complete, piece of human, whatever. Anyway. It has always been ridiculous, this panic-mongering and fear-mongering and nonsense. You'll get none of that on my TV show this weekend. I want you to do me a favor, and really, right now. If you need to, write it down. It's called Rob Carson's What in the World. It is Sunday night on Newsmax. It's at 8:30. Sunday night, you're winding the weekend down. Maybe you've spent all weekend watching football, all Sunday watching football. Maybe you watch it on Saturday, whatever. But it is a funny show. I've been doing it for 5 years. It is a show where I write around video clips that I choose myself, and then I stop and start them at a moment's notice and improvise. And so it's a rapid fire and funny show. It's the only thing like it on television. It has millions of viewers. It's been seen millions and millions of times. Donald Trump says it makes me the funniest guy on television. So I need you this Sunday to watch it, to DVR it on Newsmax Television, 8:30 following Dr. Michael Savage, okay? Have a glorious weekend. I'm so blessed to do this. Thank you for being here. God bless you. America's founded. Donald Trump, as he makes this country the greatest it's ever been. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for